In any web page, the text is the fundamental component, which you will see occupying the broadest portion of space on screen for any website. This slide title is 12 points or 16 pixels. This is because, back to the origin, when the website started taking ground, the standard font style exploited to create any web page used to have the size set to 12 points. Over time, then, there was an agreement that implies the average size to be set on 16 pixels. Indeed, in most websites, you can come across text with such a size. You might have noticed that initially I said points and afterwards I said pixels. In fact, when the first websites were bought, the measure unit used for the dimensions of the text was the typographical point and not the pixel. The switch from one system to the other took place with the oncoming of the digital screens, which have representations set in pixels. To obtain a better user experience, it's useful to remember that size matters in the case of texts, because usually, as most text displays 16-pixel characters, one tends to consider this to be the perfect dimension. However, we shouldn't forget that over the course of time, the market is going to offer screens with higher and higher resolutions. Surely, we have stepped from the classical VGA 800 per 600 resolution up to over 1920 per 1018, which is the most mainstream at the moment. The higher the resolution and the smaller the pixel of the video font is going to be. So a 16-pixel font can be, in this moment, used for any type of task. But if we want to upgrade the user experience, that is, if we want to keep as the target any type of person who might have a wider or a smaller screen, it's advisable to use fonts which are around 18-20 pixels, at least for the main text. Obviously, when we talk about the bold text for the headers, subtitles, or even for simple text boxes dealing with related subjects to the main subject, in that case, we can have fun trying to find the most suitable solution to represent on screen, be it of a personal computer or of a mobile device. During the course, when we start dealing with the CSS and the responsive design, you will realize that there is the opportunity to adapt the text dimension to a computer, to a tablet, or to a mobile phone. In all the cases, despite there is a clear-cut division among the three devices, we will have the opportunity to customize the text dimension singularly. If we used a personal computer, it's obvious that the text should appear evident without having to zoom out, for example, which is a mainstream habit when using mobile devices. We have to remember, though, that not all the users are familiar with the functions which, for example, a smartphone offers. And so, as a general rule, we can say that we have to assess the text dimensions with in mind the user who may find awkward reading the content from any device. Using a slightly bigger text rather than a text that may cause reading problems even to a single person will be surely a better idea.